is the good word, everybody. Mr. Tech Rant already in the house. Stats already jumping in the comment section. Okay, so we're literally, this is amazing. I'm doing some live testing because when I do my testing, I only do my testing in production. So you guys know, if you've been following the show for a long time, I absolutely love the live show product that I use, eCam Live. Well, just a few weeks ago, and it's still in beta, if you are an eCam Live Pro user, oh God, Gabriel coming in. Is this Tech 101? Because I'm looking to have some knowledge to be dropped. Bro, I'm about to drop the knowledge of how to do a live show like a pro, except I'm not pro, but I have pro level technology. When I think of like, how do you have a successful anything? It's usually people, process, and technology. I've got the process and the technology, but from a people perspective, I am absolutely hot trash. But eCam Live, about a couple weeks ago, just launched in the interview in beta, which is a lot like StreamYard, where you can send just the web link to somebody and you just basically drop it to them. They jump into like a regular Chrome or some browser and it works perfectly. So in the one test that I did in non-production, it worked. And it even worked when I had my Pixel 4a. I was talking to myself on the 4a. But now I actually have people backstage. And it says that the guests are in the green room. So what I'll ask is, the guests that are in the green room, unmute your mics and say something.
Hello, beautiful world.
Okay, so that was Stats. Shelly, I can't even hear you. It says you're still muted. Nope.
Do you need to unmute her on eCam?
No, because I didn't mute you guys. So I don't know if anybody heard that. In the comments, let me know if you heard them. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring in both Shelly and Stats. So I have them in window, and I didn't want to do it that way. And now I'm resizing it on the fly because that's what I do. We don't always test, but when we do, we test in production. Test. Okay, let's be real. Now all three of us are on screen. Shelly, are you muted?
I don't think I'm muted.
Yes.
You guys tell me though if you can hear me.
I can hear you. I can hear you. So the cool thing is I think eCam Live automatically mutes the guests.
Oh, it does. Yeah. It was on their webinar until you actually bring them into the scene.
I didn't know that.
Did you watch the webinar?
No, I didn't, as you can tell. Like
he didn't.
Look.
I'm just saying.
I should have. Look, you're also talking to the same guy that doesn't read or doesn't read. That's going to be taken completely out of context. Wow.
No, they did a webinar on the first when they released the beta.
I know
so
Adam.
That people understood.
Yeah, I know Adam right now, Tech Odyssey, is going to be like, I want to take that completely out of context. I don't do the reading. And that was painfully apparent when I was actually setting up my new Wi-Fi, which we'll talk about later in the show. But the first thing I wanted to do, because actually I know that Shelly is running up against a meeting that she has to run to. You and I are like the eCam people that I think we use it a lot. I talk about it a lot. I know you talk about it a lot. Your channel is amazing, by the way, and I will leave a link in the description for everything. She is the YouTube expert, one of the YouTube experts that I go to. Her thumbnail game is on point. Her recommendations are on point. Stats.
Her lighting and her background are amazing. So, you know,
significantly, literally saves the day. It is YouTube. I mean,
she doesn't have shadows on her face.
Hey, I did it on purpose. I know, did it for Rembrandt lighting. Thank you very much. It is youtube.com/Shelly Saves the Day. I'm going to drop this in the comments really quick. But until then, I'm going to stop talking. Shelly, say hi to everybody.
Hey everyone. Thanks Lord Peachy for having me on. Super excited to be here. This is one of those we've been circling around each other for like ever. Mm-hmm. And it's so cool to finally be on a live stream with you. And I have to say, yes, I've been so in love with eCam lately. I even used eCam originally not even for live streaming. I did it to record all of my video tutorial lessons for my iMovie course that is releasing next week. And then I finally decided to start using it for the actual live streaming that it's supposed to do. So yeah, I think it's pretty neat.
It is whoa powerful. Like it's one of the reasons that I did it was just because it's really, really easy to use from Skype perspective. Like bringing in people via Skype, it like pops up the window. The integration was perfect. But then you run into those people that are like, I don't really want to do Skype, or like, I don't really want to download another program, which I absolutely understand. But then you're getting into the fact that just throwing up a link into a web browser with the interview mode in beta right now, we can have up to 4 people, plus I think myself. So me plus 4. And once you start to creep into like the 4 to 10-ish people, I got to look at things like StreamYard and go,
StreamYard, yeah. I will say the StreamYard does make it very easy to have multiple people, because up until the beta was released on October 1st, you didn't really have the possibility as much built in. And so I was really excited when you were like, oh, let's try it, because I've been wanting to try the interview mode. And so randomly, I think a few days ago on Twitter, I was like, anyone up that wants to like try something on live stream?
I know, right?
Like, it was a couple of randos, and I'm like, no, I can't. That's a loose cannon situation. I'll just wait. I was just really excited because I just downloaded the beta, and I was like, oh, I want to give this a shot.
Yeah, like, so when we were talking, you're like, hey, I want to try this. I was like, today. And I was like, I didn't want to be like, hey, stop everything that you're doing and just jump into the show randomly to try the interview mode. But
no, you caught me at a good time.
Yes, yay. Okay, cool. So I will ask, like, what's the big thing that you're working on right now? Because when I'm looking at like, folks, if you want to know how to like start a YouTube channel, thumbnails, the whole 9 yards, she's got a whole guide on it. Literally go to the link that I put in the comments. Seriously, go check it out. It's incredible.
Yeah. Thank
So
you.
what's a
If
big
you're
project
looking
you're working
to
at?
start a YouTube channel, I do have an entire playlist. It's like 10 steps, and there's a free ebook that I made so that you can just like use it to go along with it. And it's just, I'm trying to tell you how to start a YouTube channel the right way, because I see a lot of people just make a lot of mistakes. And so I'm trying to help you out. But the big thing is I'm releasing my first e-course next Friday. And it's something I've been working on for like literally 2 years. I've been talking with people about creating this thing. And I'm just like, I finally put a date on it. And I said, it's going to take as long as it's going to take. And I'm just going to do it. And it's not going to maybe even be perfect, but I'm releasing it. So, and I actually was on, I don't know if you know Steve Dotto, but so he has a great channel, and so it's called Dotto Tech, and he invited me to come on today, and I was talking to his audience, and some of his people already started buying it because it's in pre-order. So like I have like everyone's names on a Post-it note on my door. I'm super excited. I was just like, I was smiling so big. I was like, I'm gonna pick someone's name and get someone a $50 gift card, but like I'm super excited.
That's awesome. So
next Friday.
Oh, that is fantastic. Like, again, one of the things that I probably love the most is like you make understanding YouTube that much easier. And so like I hear it all the time. I got 3 kids at home. Not like I'm at home in my home, and they're constantly talking about, like, my oldest is like, I want to be a YouTuber. I've decided, she said, I'm going to have kids, and then I'm going to make all of us be on a YouTube channel. Like you see it all the time with kids and stuff like that. And now it's things like this, I can show them and be like, this is how you can do some YouTube stuff. They're like, maybe I should be a doctor. It's like, this is way more. Yeah, it's a lot of work. It is definitely not easy at all. And so for folks like this, like for you to take the time to say, here's how you do some of these things, like literally the YouTube shorts. I didn't even think about that. Like I do it terribly. I know what it is, but I can go and watch the video and be like, okay, that's why you do the thing. And so now it's getting into stuff like that.
Thank you. That's really kind. My big thing is I try and make everything easy to understand. And so I try and take these complex things and make them easier. So even my channel tagline is YouTube explained simply, video editing made easy. So it's really about being simple and easy, and anybody can understand it.
Well, you do a really good job, in my personal opinion.
Thank you.
So
thank you.
Stats, I know that you've been sitting over there patiently.
I know, I'm really, so sorry.
Like, no, don't ever apologize to Stats.
No. I'm catching up on stuff. I'm doing executive producer things. I'm communicating with the people in the chat. We're good.
Executive producer things.
Absolutely. It's what I do. I literally have all the technology right here. It's in, like, I run the board, I run the show, I do eCam stuff. You barely know how to spell eCam. You know.
Shelly, this is what
But
we do, by the way. We've been
I'm
friends for a long
engaging.
time.
I'm engaging with our adoring fans in the chat.
I appreciate that. You and Adam are going through evidently the basic alphabet, trying to figure
He has
out.
to deal with the temperamental talent.
Yeah, it's true. Very
You're absolutely
temperamental
right
talent.
about that. Temperamental talent and an ego bigger than his hair.
Ooh, I don't know. Ooh, I don't know. So, okay, Shelly, I know that you're here. One thing, again, I'm guilty of not watching the webinars. As you can see on screen right now, the three of us are kind of in the ribbon with a ton of black space. Are they going to allow us to resize the windows?
Yeah, I was going to say, if we could do all three windows more vertically and get more real estate.
That's the one thing I've been like kind of pinging them about, like, hey guys, that type of thing.
I wonder if we had a fourth
working on
person,
resizing. I think it would then go to
quadrant. The whole window.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. Okay, that'll work.
Yeah, I think right now they're just kind of saying like create your overlays and have it, fill in some of the dark or the other space. But yeah, definitely the ability to move around people. I think that they are working on that, because then if you're like in the upper left or something and you want to be down in the lower right, you can actually arrange people on screen as well.
Oh my God, that's like the easy, like adding people to the show and then the resizing the windows. It'll be the perfect program for everything live streaming. Like, oh man, I'm like I already love it, and like it's okay. I'll just continue to keep pumping in the money for the pro, so it doesn't matter. I'm
really impressed with it. I have to say, like I remember when you popped into my live stream and you're like, "Oh my God, someone else is using ECAM," and I'm like, what's funny is I first heard about ECAM from Pat Flynn. And
really?
Pat Flynn he's a really big ECAM, and I think he said that it was one of his top live stream because he's used a ton. And so I was like, oh, I should check that out. And then ECAM was actually a sponsor on, I don't know if you, TubeBuddy did that 24-hour quarantine stream like a long time ago where they did 24 hours. And ECAM was actually a sponsor. And so I got hooked up with someone at ECAM, and they ended up giving me like a 1 year to try it out.
Nice.
And I was telling them the other day that I've been kicking myself because it took me 6 months after they gave it to me to finally start using it. And I'm like, I'm only 6 months left. And now I have to go buy it at the end of 6 months. And I'm like, no, because now that I've been using it and I've been paying for StreamYard and everything, and it has its pros and cons. So I was like, I kind of like ECAM better. So I'm going to probably end up switching and paying for that one instead.
Pat Flynn, the one who created this.
Yeah.
Co-created, I should say this. Love. Oh my God, I know, right? They're the best. So if you don't have a Switch Pod, literally check the link in the description below, because they're freaking amazing.
I got mine back when they did the Kickstarter. I actually got a 2-pack of it, and then we went to Vid Summit and they gave us another one. So I actually have 3 of them.
Oh my God.
But I also got them before they did the branded, the ball head mount here.
Yep.
So mine's like a one generic one off of Amazon, and then the Ulanzi, because I only mess with the Ulanzi phone holder.
Ulanzi, as a matter of fact, I have, and my Ulanzi phone holder is actually holding my note right there, but I bought the ball head after they announced it, and I was number 13 on the Switch Pod from their Kickstarter. So like I'm right there with you. Like you and I have a lot more in common. Stats, we don't need
a lot in common. I have to say, and Ulanzi, absolutely. For anyone out there, don't mess with any others, because it's the only one that's also going to allow you to keep your phone case and mount if you have a pop socket, Nuckies, anything like that. And there's enough clearance on the back to still be able to have that. So you don't have to keep your phone out of the case. It's fantastic.
I love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. So now we've talked a lot about ECAM. I guess we should probably talk about actual stuff. I teased on Twitter the greatest sports movie of all time. I wanted people in the comments to say what the greatest sports movie of all time was.
Rudy?
I'm not, huh?
Oh, I thought we were just giving out guesses.
What is your favorite all-time sports movie of all time?
Well, I'm just saying, like, good ones on the list. I mean, you got like Rudy, Field of Dreams, The Sandlot.
Yep. What's your go-to?
Remember the Titans?
Yeah, great one.
Invincible.
When the movie is on and you're like, man, I've seen this movie 8,000 times, but you never turn it off. What's that movie?
Though Invincible and Remember the Titans, but like they're fantastic.
What about A League of Their Own?
Oh yeah. Because
every time the movie's on, every time the movie is on, any given Sunday, another great one.
Yes, it's so good.
Stats.
I've got two, and it's just because they've become my favorite sports movie in two different parts of my life. So when I was a kid, it was Sandlot, because it's that perfect idealized version of being free to do whatever you want for the entire summer and have no responsibilities other than showing up every day and playing baseball. But as I've gotten older and understand more of the adult jokes, my favorite sports movie has become Bull Durham.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can totally see that. Gabriel comes through and says, "Cool Runnings." Great movie. Great movie.
One for the money, two for the show.
Man. So I'm a golfer. And so Stats, you
Legendary
probably
Bagger Vance.
The Bagger Vance was a great movie. 10
Scott
Cup
was actually in that movie. Nobody knows that.
Nobody knows I was in the movie. It's a true story. No, I was not in the movie. No, I wasn't. I dressed up in my senior year. I wore what are they called?
+4s.
+4s. Thank you. And the long, tall socks and the whole 9 yards. I did that because that was one of the years that Payne Stewart passed away, and that was his thing. So like I did that in kind of an homage to him. But 10 Cup's great. Caddyshack is great. Major League, though, is way up there.
Yeah.
Greatest sports. I gotta say, like it's got to be one of those things. I think I'll put a poll on Twitter to see exactly what it is. Okay,
I do like those true story ones, like the Vince Papale in Invincible or something like that, right? Because like those stories are just amazing. You think of all of Philadelphia and everything that, like, come on, like how do you not like that story?
Miracle on Ice.
Yeah.
Or
the Mighty Ducks, whatever.
The Blind Side with Michael Oher. That was a great movie.
That was a great movie too.
I'm not a big movie person. I'm more of a sports movie person. One of the greatest movies of all time, let's be real, is Tommy Boy.
Oh my God, that's one of my favorites.
I want to see. Oh my God, it's one of the best.
Are we like
seriously? We're BFFs right now. Tommy Boy. I love Chris Farley. Love Chris Farley.
Chris Farley with David Spade.
I love Chris Farley anyway. Like Chris Farley when he did, like when he's on SNL and he did the Chris Farley show where he'd have like Paul McCartney on and be like, "Do you remember when you were like with the Beatles?" And be like, "Yeah, Chris, I was." He'd be like, "Oh God, such an idiot!" And he would smack himself. Like that's one of the best. And I could do a mean Matt Foley impression. I loved Chris Farley. So yes, we did become BFFs, but we'll have to go down that path one day. But
okay, actually, wait. If you're going to go down this,
all right, let's go.
You also this is also technically a sports movie in that same genre. You're going to have to say like Happy Gilmore.
Oh yeah, Happy Gilmore absolutely is one of the greatest. I used to
watch that like on repeat, and I would know like when I was cooking or doing some like big thing how like long I was into something by how many times I had gotten like through that movie because it's exactly like 90 minutes. So I was like, oh yeah,
that movie is fantastic.
Because you forget also, it's the lady from Modern Family, and you forget that that's the girl in it forever, and like shoot her, like come on, like how do you not love that?
Hi, Grandma. Oh, God. Shooter McGavin. God, what a great character.
Yeah.
Great character. God. Okay. iPhone 12 launch. Says high speed. Subtle mention to speed. The actual launch date is, well, not the launch date. The event is going to be online only October 13th. Now, I have seen some people say they're expecting this to be a huge, huge product cycle. They're saying that a lot of people that are coming from the iPhone 10 are going to be cycling up to a new one, like over 50%. So like 52, 53%. That's what the expectations are. I think I even saw somebody say that this is a potential once in a decade type event for Apple. Now, I don't think it's that big. I do think it's a big deal, but I don't think it's quite that big of a deal. But I would be interested to know your thoughts on everything iPhone 12 related. So I'm going to pitch that out to you, Shelly.
Oh, man. It's so there's so many like rumors, from and debates with like the refresh on the screen and like just I don't know. I am one of those. I'm hopeful. I'm just waiting, but
So
I don't know what to think about it. I'm just like there's too many like things that
yeah, I
it's just all
believe
rumors, and that's the thing. It's just like
that you are Team Pixel though.
what's really funny is I don't even know how they found me. I
Really?
really don't. No, because I rock an iPhone. Even like some of my live unboxings, I was unboxing. I was so excited the day I got it when it released the iPhone 11 Pro in like the green. Oh, you can't see it because I have a case on. But and I make iMovie tutorials, which is an Apple product.
Very clearly Apple.
Right? And I make like Final Cut Pro tutorials, and all of a sudden I got this email one day, and they're like, I thought it was spam, just to tell you the truth. And so I didn't know because I had to mention it to someone who I know gets a lot of phones. And I'm like, is this legit? Is this name mean anything to you? And they're like, yep, totally legit. And I was just like,
yeah.
Why? Why me? Like, I'm so not that in the whole phone realm game. And I was literally confused, but they sent it to me, and I ended up really liking it. I have it. It's actually sitting right here because I was going to do some camera experiments with it and everything too. And I ended up even getting Ting to do a cheap phone line on it.
Okay.
Yeah, just so I can have use it as like a business secondary phone number. So I don't have to give people like my personal phone number. And I was just like really surprised. So I did an unboxing of it, and I still to this day could not tell you how they found me. And I don't have a ton of experience. Yeah. The thing is, like, it's probably more deserving. I know I'm going to come off sounding really stupid right now. And I'm like, I don't know how they found me. I am, of course, very grateful that they do. But they probably could have picked a million other people who would have been more than happy to make a million videos on it. And I'm just like that layperson that's just kind of like, this is nice. Thank you. It's hey. Like,
but the idea is like, but
they were not going to in-depth tutorial from me on it, but I was like, wow, this is amazing. And in fact,
you are getting ready to make content on it.
Yeah, and I did actually give I gave one, we bought another one, because I didn't want to like just give away the one that was given to me. We bought one for my mother-in-law because when I was talking about it, I said, you know what, like the people that this is for, like there's a very specific, like they don't need all the basics. People are tired of the $1,600 phone. This accomplishes so much. It's a beautiful form factor. There's a lot to like about this, and it's really cheaply priced. So I was just like, we ended up buying one for my mother-in-law, and she loves it.
And that's, I was like, exactly why they picked you.
Oh, okay.
See what I mean? Well, but think about it. It's like, yeah. So, like, but the idea is like, okay, you had a really great experience with it. You are an influencer. Let's be real. Like it is the truth. And you were like, hey, I really like this device. I really think it would be perfect for somebody like you just described. Last year, I bought a 3A XL for my dad. Like it was the same thing. It was like, doesn't need the bells and whistles. Bought it for my dad. It's perfect. The 4A is the same way.
She loves it.
And see, that's the thing.
It was so easy because I'd already gone through the setup. We FaceTimed or duoed, or it was duo, and I was able to walk her through like setting it up from her old phone to her new phone. And I was just like, if I can help, I don't want to call her, I don't know how 75-year-old woman transfer from one phone to another that easily, like that's pretty impressive.
And this sounds really, really bad, but she'll probably use Pixels for the long term, like
the future.
Yes, the future. But the idea is like, but you're also recommending, you're like, hey, somebody else be like, hey, what kind of a user are you of a device? Well, I do light web, this, that, and the other, and I take pictures of like, grandkids or kids or dogs or flowers, but like the Pixel's perfect for you. You don't need, crazy high-end cameras like you do with, an Apple. Look, if you're going to do a lot of content, the video on the Apple, you can't get away from. The iPhone's really, really good. Now, that doesn't take away from the Pixel, the 4A. The video is also very good. Not necessarily what it's known for. If you're not doing that stuff, though, $350, that's a crazy price.
That is crazy because the cheapest iPhones were like, what, $699 or something like that?
Yeah. I mean, with the
So I
to
was
get the
just
good
like,
stuff, but if you get the
yeah,
SE,
to
then
get
it's
the good
400.
stuff, it's way, yeah. But I
Yeah.
was just like, this was exactly what she needed.
Yeah.
So if that makes me, I guess, part of Team Pixel, and they're happy they picked me for that, well, I mean, I did buy one.
There you go. That's exactly. Hey,
we bought it.
Yeah, they made their money back. They're good.
That's true.
There
It was
you
a
go.
buy one get. It was a BOGO.
There you go. It was a BOGO. They got it. They got it on the BOGO. But
I'm so sorry. I have to jet because my person
no worries.
just pinged me to.
Just pinged you. You gotta
jump
go.
on,
Okay.
I can come back. I will come back.
Okay. Just ping me.
Okay.
Let me know.
Okay.
Bye, Charlie. Okay, Stats. Let's talk about this.
So
hang on. I gotta try to figure out how to do this. Hang on. So I need to take off guest 2. Then it's just me and you.
There
and
it is.
And now what I'm gonna do? Yeah, we'll just leave that there until I can figure that out. That's perfect. Look, iPhone 12. Gabriel kind of hinted at it. Realized that high speed could be interpreted to imply an admission of being currently slow. But hang on, I got to go back to this first part. This particular person has a lot of history with me. And I'm asking you, please don't put it out here. Like a tremendous amount of history. Has seen the Chris Farley, Matt Foley impression. It's dynamite. But that person definitely knows. And Digital Sling, you're absolutely right. 4A is a legit phone. But let's go back to the iPhone 12. So the iPhone 12, the high speed, here is what I'm thinking it's going to be. I do not believe, I think Tech for Your Needs is right. It's not going to be 120 hertz. I don't see it. I don't think it's going to be 120 hertz.
Yeah, because I don't think
whatever.
anybody outside the tech community associates 120 hertz with speed.
Really?
We know, well,
It's faster
you
scrolling.
and I know, I understand that, but I think most generic iPhone users think of speed as downloads, uploads, and
Which would be 5G.
Right. That.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's what I think on the announcement.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be 5G. That's my guess. Probably the new chip. It's going to be some crazy new chip that's the first time in the history of ever that they've done a thing. Kind of like Apple did with their, I think it was the Air or whatever, one of the new tablets that has a fingerprint scanner on the button. They're like, this is an incredible feat of engineering.
Well,
Guys,
and they can say first time ever for this chip because they're making their own chip now. So it's always going to be the first time that they come out with something new. So
it's an engineering marvel that they got the fingerprint scanner in the button. No, it's not. It's literally not, because
I still like having the fingerprint scanner on the back of the phone.
Right. But look, Samsung's Fold 1, the original, had it in the button. Several devices like Xiaomi have had it in the button. Guys, it's not an incredible engineering feat unless you're going to give everybody else credit. This is an incredible engineering feat that they put the scanner in the button. No, it's not. Stop it. Stop it right now. Quit it.
I'll tell you what I'm most interested about this Apple event on
I love you, Dobo. Thank you.
On October 13th is, and no, Dobo, you haven't missed the adult skate yet.
Oh,
and
no, you haven't, because
Scott has not sung one yet until you prompted him. So thank you for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, go out and grab your skating partners. We have reached adult skates. Gonna go around in circles and grab your partner by the waist. Gonna get her on my skates. Don't give a little haste. Yeah, it's gonna do the skating time.
I'm gonna buy some roller skates and show up on the show or at your house in roller skates one day.
Ooh, now that we had the other one, now let's go back to this adult skate. This is more of the 90s R&B smooth skate. We had the 70s earlier. Gonna do. Let's flip it around and go counterclockwise. Counterclockwise when we do our all skate. Yeah. Gonna skate the backwards.
With the advent of digital clocks on everything, do your kids even know what clockwise and counterclockwise is these days?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Look,
Anyway, so
my kids have cassette players because they wanted it.
Well, yeah.
What? Hey, we're going to come back to that. But Gabriel says the heat turned on.
So
Yes, sir.
what I'm most interested in seeing on the 13th is if Apple took any cues from the Google launch night in, where it was 100%, pre-production, really well done, very smooth, and it wasn't bloated. I mean, we talked about this last week or the week before, that 30-minute basically Google commercial was absolutely brilliant, and my phone is now listening to me because I said the big G word.
Yeah, big G. I don't think Apple's going to screw that part up. The Apple is not going to screw that up. They are.
Well, do you think it's going to be live, or do you think it's going to be canned?
Oh, it'll be canned. It'll have to be canned.
Okay.
Like, even if it was live, their live events are off the charts. They're fantastic. I'm not worried about Apple's live or canned events. They're going to be great.
Okay.
Like, from the online only perspective, I'm not worried about that. One of the things that Apple does, and look, it's not just Apple. Everybody does this. It drives me insane when they're like, "This is crazy." Like, yeah, Aaron actually says it best here. It's like every time Apple announces a feature, everyone believes that they did it first. You're right. I mean, a lot of times they believe it's either they did it first or they did it better.
Right.
That's one of the two. Is they did it first or they did it better. And I mean, unfortunately there's some validity in that. The idea, perfect example is like Google Pay or what was a Google Wallet, the ability to pay with your phone or a watch or a card where you could just touch. Never got any traction with any stores. But the minute that Apple Pay came out, they're like, "Oh my God." And they're like, they turned it all on because, well, everybody has an iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a perfect example of, Apple doing it better. Well, no, they did it because of just sheer mass.
Yeah, exactly. They dominate the market. They get, because of their focus all the way back to the OG days of Apple, they were the tool of creators when their first, computers came out, especially the personal computers, and then the color monitors, and they marketed it to artists and musicians and, every other type of creator. So now they're known to be creative as a company. Yeah. And then it is implied that they are also innovative, which they are by all means.
No, they're not. They're not as innovative as they used to be.
All
those companies are innovative to an extent because they have 100%. To be.
But I think because they have the history of being creative, the media portrays them as being innovative, even when they're copying somebody else's because of their market share. I'm right. Stop with that face. Blame it all on the media.
Stop it. Let's talk about the cost or the rumored cost. Evidently, this was a Forbes article, so take it for what it's worth. The potential to have four different iPhone 12s. You have the iPhone 12 mini, which is a 4.5-inch phone. The iPhone. I'm going to keep going. The iPhone 12, which is 6.1 inch. The iPhone 12 Pro, no idea what the distinction is there because that's also 6.1 inch. And then the iPhone 12 Pro Max, which is 6.7 inch, so I'm guessing roughly about the size as the Pro Max is today. Now, the prices on the 12 mini, 64 gigs, $649. The 128 would be $699, 256 would be $799. So take that for what it's worth. The iPhone 12 6.1, 64 gigs would be $749, 128 would be $799, and 256 would be $899. The iPhone 12 Pro, 128 gigs, so no 64 gig option. That's going to be $999. 256 is $1,099. 512, which is good, is $1,299. The iPhone 12 Pro Max at 128 gigs starts at $1099, 256 is $1199, and 512 is $1399. So to get a top of the line iPhone literally kitted out to the 512. It's $1,400. Now let's start to talk about what do you get for $1,400.
Yeah.
Let's compare it to some of the things that already exist today. The iPhone 12 Pro Max, $1,399 plus tax, is just $600 away from the Fold 2.
Mm-hmm.
And the Fold 2 is a fantastic device. Fantastic device. You know what you're getting with your Apple. You know what you're getting with your iPhone. Don't get me wrong. It's going to have crazy chipset, probably going to be 5G. Yeah, you know what you're getting. It's going to be a great phone. Don't get me wrong. $600 more, you're getting literally a revolutionary device.
You're getting a double phone.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
That also works as a tablet.
And I'm so glad that Digital Sling actually brought this up. 64 gigs is a joke these days when the Pixel 4a gives you 128 at $350. I don't know what Apple's trying to do with the 12 mini, if this is legit. If this is what comes out, it's 5G, 64 gigs at $649. Now, somebody will say, be like, the 4A is $350. But it's only 4G. It's like, okay, fine. Let's talk about the Pixel 4a 5G is $500. It's $499, right. And it's $120. It's $200 less than the 128 gig iPhone 12 mini.
So the way you've got these phones and prices laid out in our show notes, I'm halfway suspicious that the 12 mini and the 12, based on the price points, are not going to be 5G.
That could be true.
The jump in price between the lowest end, between the 12 and the 12 Pro, because you said it in your intro, what is different between the 12 and the 12 Pro other than the internal storage? I think they're going to draw a line of 5G and only give you 5G on the Pro and the Pro Max.
That would be something else. I'm not entirely sure. It's like there's tons of rumors out there, and all of this, what we're talking about, is just conjecture and kind of opinions and all of this. I understand the point of Apple. I really, really do. Don't get me wrong. I use a Mac. Like, I have an iPhone. It's like, I'm not bashing Apple, and I bash Google and bash everybody else too. But I got to go, like I would have a hard time recommending an iPhone. I mean, Shelly was just on the show. She is an iPhone user. She makes iMovies in terms of tutorials. She makes Apple-specific content on her YouTube channel.
She is the perfect example of an Apple creative.
Right. And she literally recommended a Pixel 4a for her mother-in-law.
Yeah.
That's
for a specific use case,
And I couldn't recommend an app, like I wouldn't, but like I couldn't recommend an iPhone. Let's not even say a mini. That's 5.4 inches, like 6.1, which is roughly the size of the 4A right now. I think. Look that up.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's 6.1. It's pretty close to that, if not.
Hold on.
An iPhone 12, 6.1 inch, and I'm gonna go with 128 gigs just because that's exactly what's in the 4A. That's $799 for the 4A. It's $350.
The $350.
350. It's less than half, more than half.
4A is 5.7 inches.
So it's close. It's close. It's in between the, again, $699, $799. Like, what? Like, I don't know if I could like do that. The 256 on the Pro is $1,100. And
isn't that what you paid for your 11 Pro Max?
No, I paid $13.
Oh, so they are holding.
Yeah, I paid $13. Like, after tax, I paid 13 something. So probably like the 256 Pro Max cost, the $11.99. Pretty close to that. I have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure. Like, their upper tier doesn't seem to move a lot, but their mid tier. Their mid-tier hasn't really come down to where a lot of other mid-tiers. Look, I just made a video this morning, which, by the way, has absolutely done jack squat. Straight up
I watched
nothing.
it. I liked
Thank
it,
you.
and I commented.
I appreciate that. I mean, it had done nothing. Just flippity floppity. Like, I don't know if the algorithm has been written to go, nothing from Technically Speaking shall see the light of day, but it's doing a pretty damn good job of that right now. I'm going to tell you that right now. The idea is like, I just laid a litany list of like 5 or 7 devices in the video that I released this morning that I would recommend more than I would here. I would tell you to go get last year's iPhone before I'd recommend this year's iPhone, because I don't know what you're getting. I don't know what other you're getting. Like, Digital Slang talked about LiDAR sensor.
Well, and
I mean, look how good Soli worked out for Pixel.
Throw his next comment up on the screen if you don't mind, because it's a great point. Imagine where we're going to be 5 years from now when it comes to phone data transfer technology.
Yeah.
You know, we're definitely going to be all in on 5G. We might be getting close to 6G at that point. And if they sell those two bottom, quote unquote, bottom rung phones without 5G, boy, they're going to be way behind when those people are looking to upgrade next. And then you're going to run into a pricing point.
I have to assume this is 5G. Otherwise the prices don't make any sense to me, because even the XR and things like XR and stuff like that's cheaper than this. Like the XR, which by the way, I am literally not crapping on Apple phones right now. I just have to go. I have to say is like,
you're crapping on their pricing strategy.
Like, what's the pricing strategy out of this? Like, they don't. Like, when I look around, like, you can get flagship level. I mean, Jim right here brings up a great point. What about the Galaxy S20 FE, the fan edition, which I think is a stupid name, but the device is great. 5G enabled, great cameras, great body, great chipset. Like, I think it's 5G enabled. I think it's the 865. I think so. Maybe. Like a lot of the phones, like, and that phone's coming in at $700. Like, to me, really the competition for me at that $700 price point right now, as it stands, for me is the Samsung S20 FE and the Pixel 5. Like, again, on paper, I don't have either one of those things. And yes, I'll go on record and say it again. I do not have the Pixel 5. But the idea is, like, on paper, those two things look like the battle for me. Like, it has nothing to do with, and I mean, those are at $700. If you're telling me I have to go to the iPhone 12 6.1 inch at 128 gigs, that immediately puts it at $799. Well, it's already $100 more than the Samsung FE and the Pixel 5.
Right.
Well, yeah. And so here we go. Gabriel brings up a good point. We're talking both wave and low band. I would have to assume it would be wave and sub 6. I would have to assume that. Wave. But yeah. And so Ben talks about it. I still have the Red XR. It's a great phone. And that's my thing is like, at these prices, I'm like, I don't think I would want to upgrade. I don't see the reason to upgrade. If you have an iPhone 11, I do not see the reason to upgrade. If you have the XR, I'm not even sure that I would upgrade, because I don't, other than 5G, what would you really be getting? And I truly don't know the answer. Like, I'm really stuck.
I think that's why, we're both, you and I are really interested in watching whatever presentation they roll out on the 13th is what are they putting in these phones, or what are they going to surprise us with new capabilities to justify the cost other than it's an Apple device.
I get it. Like, I've talked to a lot of people who are big Apple fans, like Josh Smith, really good friend of mine. He is on Apple. He goes, the only reason is things like iMessage, AirDrop, and then one other thing. But those are the two big ones. He's like, I could even get around the iMessage thing. The AirDrop is the biggest thing, which I get. But see, I don't even use AirDrop. Let me just say that. Like, I could very easily use AirDrop, but the way I use my iPhone, I do for like massive amounts of video.
Yeah.
And I want the best possible like quality.
Mobile video recording. Yeah.
And so I'm just going to move it manually with a cord. Like that's just the way I'm going to do it. So, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. Ben says there's like probably the extra cameras from the XR to the 12S. But if you go XR to an iPhone 11 and get those extra cameras, because I don't see them throwing in more cameras, like a quad camera. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I think we beat that to death. But in a true Apple fashion, because they don't give any of the Fs out there, they're doing the Apple launch event October 13th, which is one of the same days as Amazon Prime Day. I think Prime Day is the 13th and 14th, I think.
You know, not to defend Apple too much or whoever was in charge of scheduling their launch event.
I mean, look,
Prime Day should have been earlier this year.
Yeah. It should have.
All of these should have been earlier this year. But again, you know, Apple doesn't see competitors like you and I see competitors. They know that enough people, they're going to get enough eyeballs. They're going to get all the media.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get everything they need for this event, one way or the other. I mean, there could be, you know, a Google event. There could be a Samsung event. There could be a Xbox event. They could and they're still going to get enough eyeballs to make it worth their time. So,
they will. Yeah. That part I'm not worried about. Like it's not like a huge jerk move because it needed to happen anyway. It was just one of those things like, the two mega huge tech companies with events on the same day. And I'll be honest with you, I could care less. I take that back. I could not care less. I have no less cares to give for Prime Day because I have been disappointed with Prime Day 5 years running. Or how many number of years it's been.
I don't think I have ever bought anything on Prime Day because, like you say, there's the things that they discount on Prime Day are not things that I want.
No, they're not.
Because Amazon's website is so outrageously bloated with 10 trillion plus one things that you could buy.
But that's the point.
I understand that, but it makes trying to find that one specific thing you want even harder. It's just like, nope, I'm staying off the website on Prime Day.
I have no trouble spending money on Amazon. That does not bother me at all. Like I can find stuff to buy. Yeah, I can find stuff to buy. The problem is on Prime Day, I don't want to buy any of the crap that they have. I saw one, they're like, oh man, there's this baller TV you can get for like $149. So then I look into what it is. And I'm not knocking this company at all. It's like, it's a Toshiba 40-inch that's like $150. It's 720p. But I'm like, yeah, but you do know that you can go get like a TCL that's not 720 for pretty darn close to the same price, right? Like, y'all know that? Like, I don't need Prime Day to do that. Like, that's just the thing. Like, that's just regular. You know what we call that? It's just a Tuesday. Literally just a Tuesday. My thing is like, it's Wednesday 8 p.m. You can find that on Indie. Wednesday at 8 p.m. If you look a little, like, I think what Prime Day does is it's one of those things, like, it's instantaneous stuff. They're like, oh my God, I totally needed that. Whatever, the bread maker. Oh my God, you know, I've always been thinking about making bread. I'm going to buy that on Prime Day because it says it's 30% off, but in real actuality, it's probably only like 5% off, but they marked it up.
Right.
That's my tinfoil hat right there.
Instant gratification, and false pricing models.
So for me, it's like maybe if I were like a Alexa user, maybe Prime Day would be better for me. But my hot take is, and it may not even be a hot take, I'd love to know in the comments what people think. I don't think Prime Day is a big deal. Straight up, do not think it's a big deal. It's just always been ungood for me. That's the way I feel.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I know that I can get that. I know you and I agree with that.
Yes.
But I would love to know if everybody else agrees with that. I bought 24 pounds of popcorn from Popcorn World.
How many different flavors are included in that 24
pounds? Bro, I bought a big tin of popcorn. I can't tell you why. It's not for you, so that's the first thing. But there
Dang
is. Do you like banana cream pie?
On occasion, it's not my favorite dessert, but I will get down on it.
Got a big old bag of banana cream pie for you. That's somebody's going to take that. Somebody's going to take that one out of context.
Well,
I got a big old bag of banana cream pie for you. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Wait, hang on a minute. I just bought a bag of 24 pounds of popcorn from Popcorn World. Got a bag of banana cream pie. Anyway, so I bought 24 pounds of popcorn from Popcorn World and showed up today. I got a ton of different stuff. Now, for the folks that don't know, the reason why I bought 24 pounds was a while back, probably 2 months ago, I am a member of the back-to-back champions of the Saturday Night Tech Fight Tag Team Edition. My brother Ben over in the UK, who might be checking this out on replay, I'm not entirely sure. Him and I, back-to-back champions. And with that came a gift certificate to Popcorn World. Doingtheworldofflavor.com. They have so many flavors of popcorn. It is almost overwhelming to just order. My favorites include banana cream pie. Rice Krispie treat is unbelievable. I got an extra large bag of chocolate peanut butter popcorn. I mean, and this bag is not light. Like it has to be a 3-pound bag easily itself. Did you make sure that you got that right before you posted it in there?
Yeah, I did it straight from. I actually loaded the website first.
Okay.
I'm actually looking at it right now. 250 flavors. Over 250.
It is a lot. Some of the people love crab legs. They love the dill pickle. There's a spicy something or other that's there. Caramel and cheese was, for whatever reason, my wife's favorite, which was weird. But we bought 24 pounds of popcorn. 24 pounds. And it came in a box today that, no joke, was like 3 feet tall. It was huge. It was a huge box. And the UPS guy hates us because of it.
Why? It was maybe 25 pounds with the box and the packaging. Come on.
Still, though. My Chromecast Google TV comes tomorrow. And I'll be doing a video about it.
I'm really interested to see the UI because I loved my Nexus player with the remote and the microphone before they stopped providing updates, and it crapped out on me. So if they basically have modernized the Nexus player, I may have to go buy one too.
I'm going to tell you right now that based on everything that I'm hearing, they did, and you're going to go buy one.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you this right now. It's like, if it's as good as I think it is, and I believe that it is, you will be buying one this weekend.
Yeah, because
Guaranteed.
you know how much I loved my Nexus player, and aside from all the other things I enjoy about going home and visiting my family, both my sister and my parents now have Apple TVs with the remote that has the microphone, and it is so simple to literally sit on the couch all day, eat and drink myself into a coma, and never have to do anything other than press one button on the remote.
Yeah. I mean, it's the best. You could also just say, hey, keyword.
Yep.
And it would tell you. You could. You don't even have to use your hands then. You can literally be lazier. I'm trying to teach you how to be even lazier than you are.
Well,
I got a whole bag full of banana cream pie for you.
Yeah, well, and I'll take it.
Yeah, you bet you will.
Take it right to the face.
Oh, gosh. Oh, also, so with my Chromecast coming, I also I upgraded from Google Wi-Fi to Nest Wi-Fi, and I have a doozy of a story when it comes to that one. If you are
Nest, what's the difference?
So I'm whoa, segue, baby.
Yep, for it.
Segue, baby. I'm with you. If you are going to go from Google Wi-Fi to Nest Wi-Fi, or you have since done that, maybe you experienced what I experienced, where I nearly threw out the Nest Wi-Fi yeet, through the window because I was super agitated with me not being patient. It really came down to a me problem. So the me problem was this. It was a me problem. It was a me problem. I literally felt like I was like the 75-year-old person calling me like, I can't get the Wi-Fi to work. I don't know what the whole internet doohickey things where I go on a web page to the bird Twitter. I don't know where to go with the book face where I do the tweets and the things on the gram. Like, yeah, I felt like that. So here's what happened. I unplugged my Google Wi-Fi. I did not factory reset it. Did not. I just unplugged it. I was like, okay. I'm going to just set up a whole new Google system like I'd done 1,000 times before.
Right.
Scan the QR codes in the back and do the whole 9 yards. Plug everything into my Spectrum router, and it's like, can't. I found on the web. Thank you, Google, for paying attention. Thank you. Jesus. So I do the QR codes, plug in the router, do the whole 9 yards, and it says can't connect to your network. Your network's not on. Bull crap, because literally I am plugged directly into the Nest router.
Yep.
And I'm getting internet from it because I'm hardwired. So it's definitely working because I'm getting internet from it. So I get on the phone with support. And it's Google support. So like if you go to the website and you say like I request a callback or whatever, this is that support. I got a gentleman named Ed. Ed was incredibly patient. He was like, I am the connection expert. Like he kind of just said it. He was like, I know exactly what this is. I am the connection expert. By the way, if my camera dies, it's blinking red at me. I'm trying to get through the story before we go.
This is why you need me there. I'll make sure it's plugged in.
No, it was plugged in. It's just I've done something to it to make it agitated. Anyway, I get Ed on the phone. He stays on the phone with me for 40 minutes. So what you have to do is what you should have done, because I was a big idiot. You should have factory reset your Google Wi-Fi. Okay. So you factory reset the Google Wi-Fi, completely exit it from your Google Wi-Fi application, like completely like nuke it from the system to where it's not, there's no internet connected, like from a Google Wi-Fi or a Nest Wi-Fi perspective in your Google Home account or your Google Wi-Fi account. None of that. Okay.
I think I know where this is going.
And then you set up a brand new system in the Google Home app. Stop it. Stop listening. I don't care what you found. Stop it. And then you set it completely up in the Nest or in the G Home app. Since it's creepy. So you set it completely up in the Home app.
Okay.
All brand new. So I don't even really use the Wi-Fi app. I can't say that word because she's always listening. She's always there. And so it worked. 40 minutes later, it worked. Yeah.
Now, the big question is, if you would have watched the tutorial or read the instructions, would you have bothered Ed?
No. No, I wouldn't have. No, I mean, I straight up wouldn't have. But, I mean, in fairness, I feel like I'm probably more the masses than anything. Like, I feel like that's really a quintessential average consumer move.
Well, and you're also keeping what I'm sure is that wonderful man employed by the big G. So,
yeah. I mean, he was great. He was, patient, phenomenal. I cannot speak highly enough for Ed from the Nest support group. I don't think you're watching this, Ed, but if you are watching it, they should pay you double because you literally saved me from going back and taking it all back.
The savage peachy beast.
You did. Calming, soothing voice. We laughed, we joked, cried a little bit. We did. Like he was great.
Completely off topic. I'm still scrolling through Popcorn World. Did you see that they have a peanut butter and jelly plus grape?
Yeah,
Popcorn
because I've
flavor.
had the peanut butter and jelly strawberry version, and it's phenomenal. It is so good, so good.
Yeah, might need to be ordering me.
No, it
some
comes
off
with
of
peanut
this.
butter.
Not that flavor.
I was going to say
obviously,
you're
but-
allergic to it. I mean,
I
go
know.
ahead, swell up that throat. Pause. Wow. All right, so I'm on borrowed time at this point because the camera's still blinking at me. We're 2 minutes over. Stats, where can they find you?
I am still currently, thank the Lord above, on my social media hiatus. I
That's a lie.
have not gone back. I do not log
you have.
into it every single day, and I'm
There
happy,
you go.
happy about it.
You have been on though.
I retweet your live show announcement every week. That's about it.
I know. Don't lie to me, boy.
So, but you can find me at Helix Heinlein on the tweet machine and at Country Smith on the Instagram. And maybe I'll log back in one of these days after all of this political and COVID nonsense is over.
Yeah, after after the 4th. No, you won't. See you in 2021. Yeah, I'll see you in 2021. You can find me. Oh, Gabriel. Also that. Gabriel, thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate you. You know what, Gabriel? You need to be on the show. So let's talk about that. Hit me up in the DMs. Let's talk about getting you on the show. I'm dead serious. You can find me at Scott Peachy on the Tweet Machine, at the Scott Peachy on the Gram. Ooh, yeah. Find me on the Instagram. I'm an Instagram model.
Oh,
If you
God.
If you're into chubby dudes with beards and hair, or what my daughter refers to as a homawk. It's a homawk. So she's got the best little quips. Mac, absolutely. Thank you for following me on Instagram. But she calls my hair a homawk. This is not a forehead. This is a top head. I mean, it makes sense. It's a top head. It's the top of your head. Homawk, top head. And she has got one other thing, but I can't remember what it is. But those are the two cutest things. Now, Shelly's coming back. Hang on a minute. Hang on. We are literally wrapping up the show because my camera's about to die.
Actually, I was just coming on to message you and be like, I don't know if you're still on, but
Yeah, I'm still on. Hi. My camera's literally about to die. So, well, now that we have you back, where can they find you on your socials?
Oh, you can find me at Shelly Saves the Day. And if you're interested in the new iMovie course, iMovieMadeEasy.com.
Boom. See, that's how we do it. Now, what we'll do is we're going to have you on again. Oh, my wife just popped in. The other thing is she doesn't say backpack. We're talking about my kid for a second because she calls my hair a homawk. This is a top head. And she doesn't call it a backpack. She calls it a pack.
Okay.
Pack. So we were talking about my kid right as we wrapped up. But we're going to have Shelly back on the show at some point. I'm also going to put a battery in my camera so it doesn't die.
Why do you use a battery instead of like the AC adapter?
I know I need to get an AC adapter because I'm mostly.
What is wrong with you?
I'm lazy. That's
Because the
mostly
executive
it.
producer
It's like
isn't there to
$20.
I know it's like $20, but you know what?
It's like 20.
The executive producer should find me that link on Amazon, you jerk.
remind-
And
I'll
why
wait
don't
till
you
Prime-
executive produce EOSR?
I'm gonna wait till Prime Day.
Oh God. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. All right, y'all. Be good at it. Thanks for coming by. Shelly, Stats, thank you so much. Y'all be
Absolutely.
good. See you again.
Bye.